Hello there. Thank you for watching the replay. It's Ingrid here. How are you doing today? I hope we'll have some people join me. I'm not sure whether I will or not. I didn't actually tell anybody I was coming on live, so I wouldn't be surprised if nobody joins me, but that's okay. That's all my bad, right? My bad. I should be telling people that I'm going live, but today kind of got away from me. We were doing fun stuff here in the house. It's our spring break or our Easter holidays here. So homeschool has been put on the back burner for this week, and we are spending time doing fun things like learning how to code, learning how to use Canva, learning how to use WordPress, learning how to sew, learning how to garden, doing all sorts of fun stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at. But if we've never met before, my name is Ingrid Owens. I'm a business coach and marketing strategist for online entrepreneurs who have service-based businesses. I just wanted to come on here today live because this is a regular Tuesday live that I do, Biz Talk Tuesday. I haven't like I said, had a regular time slot for it yet. We're still trying to figure it out. But we're going to get something nailed down here when things calm down, but I'm not quite sure when that's going to be, as you, I'm sure, are in the same boat. So if you are joining me live, please let me know in the comments that you are, and if you are watching the replay, also let me know in the comments that you were watching me on the replay so that I can give you a little shout out and we can talk and answer any questions that you might have. Now, today's live is just something that kind of came to me this morning, actually, when I was writing out an email. I was sending out an email to people on my list, and it was, I started with the same question as everybody who I talk to these days is the same question, which is how y'all doing? Because we're really concerned about how people actually are doing. How is your health and how is your mental health, right? We want to make sure that everybody is doing good. And, then that led me to think of how I'm doing. And my days have been, I'm pretty sure, a bit like yours. Some days are awesome and some days are awful. And some days are somewhere in between. And most days for me have been a little bit somewhere in between. Thank God we have had no illness or no sickness in this house or my immediate family. So that's a very big blessing. And that is the most important thing. But there's also, the other part of that, which is, your mental health. And we've got to, keep a good handle on that during these times. Now, I am a business coach and I do help people, set those goals that they want for themselves and figure out the reasons why they're not actually hitting the goals. So in addition to strategy, in addition to helping people with their marketing and what they should be doing to attract clients and how to convert new clients, I do help people with their mindset around that. Now, I resisted it for a long time. The whole mindset thing, and part of the reason why I resisted it was because it's actually something that I needed to work on myself, and quite often that's the way, right? Because I was the strategist who, I have a degree in business. I knew all the strategy, I knew all the business, the marketing stuff, I knew all the theory, I knew actually had a lot of it in practice too, because I've had several businesses over the years. And yet I still wasn't achieving the success that I had wanted until I got my mindset straight and I got tools to work on about my mindset. And so I wanted to chat to you a little bit about that today, because quite often, we spend the time searching for the right magic bullet, right? We spend our time searching for the next strategy, for the way that the magic thing that's going to fix us. Do we need to be doing better posts on Instagram, or maybe we need a different niche, or maybe we're not talking in the right place, whatever. But what I have come to find out is usually the reason why our visibility efforts aren't working or why we're not attracting the right clients is to do with mindset, and that is all about to do with our thoughts. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, and comparatively, like what brought me to this whole conversation in the first place was because I was saying how we have good days and we have bad days. I have good days, I have bad days right now. And the interesting thing about that is that my circumstances are exactly the same day in, day out, which is the new reality for us all right now, right? The circumstances of not being able to leave our house, of being at home with the kids, with the husband, with the everything, right? And being essentially on lockdown here in Ireland. My circumstances aren't changing, but yet my mood is changing, my feelings are changing. And what is happening as a result of that is the actions that I'm taking and how my day actually pans out is changing dependent on the thoughts that I'm having about that circumstance. So I believe in the model created by Brooke Castillo, and this is how I do my own self-coaching and coaching with my clients, is that it is our thoughts that create our thoughts about our circumstances is what actually creates the results. Meaning that if you can change your thoughts about a certain situation, you can actually change the results that you're getting. And quite often the results that if you're not getting the results that you desire in your marketing or in your visibility, it's simply because you're having the thoughts about that aren't serving you. You're having thoughts about the actions that you're taking or not taking most often, right? That aren't serving you. So let me give you an example. If you have a circumstance such as you have a list of say 100 people, and you have a thought about that list, that size of that list is too small, that it's not worth showing up for, it's not worth emailing. The action that you're going to have because of that thought is, well, I'm not going to email them, or I will email them once and maybe I'll just half-heartedly do it, or I'm not coming from a place of service, or maybe your thought is, it could be any one of those thoughts, but you get the picture, right? It's not a very positive thought, and that result then happens that the result being that you don't maybe email them consistently, or you don't get very much response for them, which then proves your thought to be correct about your email list, that it's too small, that it's not worth bothering with, right? If you contrast that with you having a thought about that email list, that this email list is a phenomenal 100 people that have shown up, that have said they want to hear from me. I am going to serve them to the best of my ability. I'm going to over deliver. I'm going to give them more than what they actually want. I'm going to show up for them. I'm going to show them my offers. I'm going to keep going whether they respond to me or not. That's not what I'm looking for. I said that I was going to show up for them. That's what I'm going to continue to do. If that's the approach that you take to serving your email list or serving your community, the actions are going to come from a completely different place. You're going to come from a place of service, and you're going to consistently show up, which means that at the end of it all, you'll have a different sort of a result. And even if your people don't respond to you in the way that you quote unquote think they should, it will still be honoring your commitment to yourself. You'll be showing up consistently as what you said that you would do, and therefore that can be treated as a success. And if it doesn't work, you can look at it with that head of a scientist, and you can say, okay, why did it not work? Let's get curious around why it didn't work and change something about it, and change it based on data, rather than having that, oh, woe is me, they're not listening to me, they don't want what I have got to say, nobody's opening my emails, everything's going wrong, and having that negative thought pattern, and then retreating and not doing anything more about it. So our thoughts are vitally important when it comes to entrepreneurship, because unfortunately, or fortunately, as I would say, we don't have somebody telling us and forcing us what to do. We only have our brains, and we have to manage those brains to make sure that they're doing for us and working for us in a way that is serving us and serving our business. So we need to be able to do that brain management. And there are lots of tools available for you to do that. One of the things that I do every morning is I do a thought download. This is a tool that was taught to me by my coach, just writing out all of my thoughts and seeing in those thoughts which of those thoughts are serving me and which of those are not, right? And really closely examining that. The reason why we write them down is because if we don't, we think about it. So you're thinking about your thoughts, it doesn't actually get out of your head. So I'm not a journaler in this sense of like, oh, dear diary, here's what I did, but I do find it extremely valuable to write out your thoughts, to think about what you're talking about, or to, to see what you're actually thinking about. Get those thoughts out of your head. And some days there'll be a lot of negativity in there, and some days there'll be a lot of positivity in there. And then the trick is to go from one of those, change some of those negative thoughts into something that serves you better. Now, a lot of people make the mistake where they try and think positive all the time. And let me be honest, like, coaching and self-coaching is not about being positive all the time, because at the crux of it all, if you are trying to think a thought that you at your core don't believe, then it's not going to stick and it's not going to work for you, because you're saying, oh yes, I am going to make $1 million by the end of the week, and you're like, no, I'm never going to do that, right? You don't believe it, right? So what you have to do is you have to find a thought that serves you, and that's a big enough jump to make a difference in the more towards the positive scale, to the positive end of the scale, but it is believable to you. And you need to then work on your belief for doing something, right? Your belief that something is going to happen. And that, some people might think that that's just all about words and reframing our words. But let me tell you, words mean stuff, right? We are already pre-programmed with words. And if we are talking negatively and using words and sentences that don't work for us and don't serve us and serve our business, then we have to look at those words that we're using, and we have to think different thoughts to get different results. Okay? Because we are given the set of circumstances that we are given. We are given the cards that we have, and currently, the circumstances are not what we want, and we have a choice to deal with those in different ways. It's all about your thoughts, right? So you can choose to, react in a certain way and retreat, or you can choose to stand up and show up and serve your audience in a higher level. And personally, that's what I have chosen to do. And so that's why I've been doing single sessions and giving people loads of value. I'm giving them like writing out their marketing visibility plan for them. I'm just like over delivering. That's what I have chosen to do at this particular time, because to me that feels good and that feels aligned. For you, it might be doing something different. For you, it could be doing free coaching, or doing sample sessions, or smaller bits of packages. You've got to retweak and rethink your offers right now, because the lay of the land has changed. And so it's not that there is no money around. It's just that people attitudes towards the circumstances are definitely changed, and a lot of people haven't got the same amount of money to play with. So we need to be cognizant of that, and we need to see how we can still show up and how we can still come from a place of service. Never mind, the circumstances that we are. Like, at the heart of it all, it's still coming from that same place, that place of service, right? So think about that. Think about your thoughts, and more than think about your thoughts, get your thoughts out of your head. Get them written down into a journal. Talk to a business bestie. Talk to a coach. Really, start examining what's going on in your brain, because this is the life that we have been given. Life isn't going to start after this is over. Your entrepreneurial dreams aren't going to stay paused until this is happening. This is all done and dusted. It doesn't work like that. This is where we're in right now, and this is what we have to deal with. And there's no better time than now to be putting together your plan, to be putting together your strategy, and to really working through it and working on your mindset, right? Working on it every single day, twice a day, and 3 times, 4 times a day if you need to. There's no one and done with all of this work, right? So if you would like to join me for one of those single strategy sessions, they are only $100, not euros even, $100. I do have a limited amount of them available. But my availability is open in terms of like when I'm able to work with people right now. It's a phenomenal thing. You can read some of the testimonials on my Facebook page that people who have done them. They've all had massive value. They walk away with a clear strategy, a clear ABCD step plan of how they are going to move their business forward in the next 90 days, given the situation that we're in, given what they are trying to reach in their overall plan. We've got to have a plan, and we've got to manage that mindset of sticking with that plan, right? Because the consistency is going to be the thing that's going to move you across the line. All right, that's all I wanted to talk today about. If you want those strategy sessions, you can have one. You can purchase many of them if you want to. I'm going to put the link below in the comments, or you can shoot me a DM and we can go from there and get you on my schedule. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this impromptu live. I'm sorry that I didn't have time to promote it a little bit more. I did write it out to my list, so maybe you came from there. But if this was valuable to you, I would appreciate it if you would share it out to your friends and share it out to anybody that you feel would benefit from it. And I will see you again. Oh, and if you haven't already joined, do join my Facebook group, The Profitably Visible Entrepreneur. I am going to be doing some free sessions in there for that community of people, free sessions on specific strategies that you can use for your marketing. So we're going to focus on Instagram, we're going to focus on Facebook groups, we're going to do some sessions on messaging and different things to do with marketing, and we may do some coaching in there too. You never know what we'll do. We'll do some fun stuff, but like I said, changing it all up, why not? These are new times. So thank you so much for hanging with me. You have a great day and stay safe.